Hello everyone and welcome to Wilmington. In the middle of it all, this is a program where we take a look at the people, places, and things that make Wilmington such a wonderful city. Thanks for being with us and thanks for all your great comments about this program. I'm here with two of my favorite people, Ms. Tina Betz and Rich Neumann. Ms. Tina, we have a great show today, and we've all contributed a little bit to try to bring you an interesting program. And I know you're going to take a look at a program right up your alley, which is arts and cultural and entertainment.
And I had a chance to speak to my friend and colleague, David Shalott, at First and Central Presbyterian Church, located right here in downtown Wilmington, about their Market Street Music program.
Oh, okay. And that's coming up a little bit later.
It's coming up a little bit later.
Market Street Music. Rich Neumann gets to travel home a bit in this program, and by that I mean you went back to St. Hedwig's.
That's right. I do have Polish ancestry, and today we're going to be celebrating that and traveling to the city's west side for we're in Wilmington. We have great churches here in the city of Wilmington, and wait until you see the inside of St. Hedwig's. It's spectacular.
Wow. Okay, we're looking forward to that. Now, we had a chance to talk to our mayor about a topic that's kind of a hot topic recently, which is government investing in or helping private developers move forward with economic development projects.
Right.
You know, there's a whole debate out there about, sure, there's a risk, but is it worth it? Actually, the Baker administration has a pretty good record in terms of investing in these projects. So we had a chance to sit down and talk to the mayor about it, and the mayor had some very interesting ideas and thoughts, as always. Here's our mayor.
There are two thoughts. What we see is this more restraint on government doing anything. People are trying to control government from being involved in economics, trying to control government from being in this area or that area. That's what we're really dealing with, philosophy of what government should be doing. But the reason why government gets involved in economic development is that government is not the job producer for America. There are a lot of government jobs, but the basic employment, job creation is in the private sector. They produce the jobs. And you can look at small business as the major generator of business throughout the United States. But people fail to realize why those big guys, this, that, and the other. If a person comes to your community, I'll put 1,500 people to work in your community if I can work with you on dealing with your taxes and dealing with this, that, or the other, land basing or whatever. So you work with them. That's your job. If you look at the waterfront and the developments that's taken place on the waterfront, look what's happened there. It is steadily improving every time we turn around. Now, the hotel that was proposed down there has been talked about ever since the center was created, that we need a hotel with this. Then we get people now saying, well, we already got hotels in Wilmington. That's got nothing to do with nothing. It's like making that whole center, which started out as an exhibit center and then went to more of a convention center concept, but it had no hotel. And we don't have the ability to bring in the big shows or the big conferences that could go there if there was a full-service hotel. Why would not the government participate in that? When we participated in the Radisson development, we participated in the other hotel down here in Wilmington. The only one we didn't participate with was the Hotel DuPont, which was built back in 1913. Yeah. So it's just that it's a philosophy argument. What does the government do? What does not do?
This whole investment thing, as far as government investment in private development, has been going on throughout your administration, and from what I can tell, there have not been any failures.
No, it's been very successful, and I think that people don't understand also how long it takes to redevelop or make something better. For example, the three most disastrous effects that hit Wilmington, four, there's four actually, it's not three. One, I-95, thousands got disrupted, people. Urban renewal, thousands got disrupted and replaced. The riots scared people half to death, both African American and white, and people fled. Then suburban development with malls. That changed the dynamics of the city all over the country. Every city in the country was affected by these such dynamics as suburban development and malls. But a lot of cities experienced riots. A lot of cities experienced highways being built right through the heart of their city. Those were bad policies. Urban renewal started out with the policy, tear everything down, build up again, and bring back the people. Never happened.
Well, they say there, Mayor, there's always two sides to every story, and one's the investment side, but the other side of it will, of course, be the benefits that the city receives back from an investment.
The charter of the City of Wilmington says our job is to promote the City of Wilmington and its economic well-being. We do that through taxation. We do it through our incentive programs through economic development, which we expect to be paid back in 3 years, by the way. People forget. If a company comes here with 200 employees, 50 employees, 25,000, we get wage tax immediately on that. We don't get maybe the property tax. We'll get that in 3 years. But we're paid back our money almost immediately. There is no give me in anything. The other thing is that people don't understand. What's the difference from developing like a riverfront or a downtown versus a community? They're totally different dynamics. Cities, downtowns are different, unique unto themselves. You've got to make them entertaining, exciting places, unique places, because you're competing with a marketplace now that is very diverse, very spread out, and you don't have the concentration of economics like you used to years ago. That's one. Two, if you come to our city and you're going to put a business, there's usually a building there or there's land there. The zoning is you can go up 50 stories if you want to. Now, what does that mean? Your downtown pays for most of your services, whether people know it or not. If you look at the wage tax or you look at the property taxes, who pays the most? Your businesses. I always hear people tell me, our neighborhood pays more taxes than the rest. I won't tell you what district always tells me that. They pay more taxes than other neighborhoods, but they don't pay the most of the taxes. Businesses do. 39% of our budget is from the wage tax. Only 24, I think around 24% or so is from property. So we're in a dilemma in terms of raising money, but you got to keep what you got, you got to add to what you got, and you got to make it an exciting place to be. And the problem is getting positive people working together. If you don't think you're intelligent, you're not. If you don't think you can make your city grow and become better, it won't. If you don't think your community can be better, it won't. If you don't think the crime can be dealt with, it won't. If you can't change, it won't, because it's all between here or how people think.
All right, and thanks to our mayor for his always interesting comments, of course. And remember some of that when you read about this public investment in.
Well, you know, that's not just a local subject.
No.
I mean, it's a federal. I mean, every year we go through this on a federal level when you know, the budget hearings are coming and we're talking about, you know, whether or not there will be investments in the arts, investments in the humanities, investments in education. So it's an ongoing battle.
It absolutely is. So now, anybody here receive an award lately?
I have.
You have?
I have.
He has.
You really?
I have. I'm going to tell you about it later.
I'm excited.
She doesn't look real impressed. However, you'll be impressed.
I've seen the award.
Oh, Rich actually received a very interesting award, and we're going to find out about that prestigious award.
Yeah. I don't think you know the meaning of that word, prestigious. You keep saying that.
That's a type of pizza, I think.
All right, we're going to find out about later in the program. But one of our own colleagues, we worked with him for.
Now this is a
legitimate.
Award.
Yeah. One of our own colleagues received a very nice award recently, and let's take a look at that right now. You are looking at the George T. Sargentson Award. This is a very prestigious annual award given to a parks and recreation specialist here in the state of Delaware, and we are so honored this year that this award has gone to our very own Romaine Alexander, who is the head of Parks and Recreation for the City of Wilmington. And Romaine, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
This is a very, very nice award. And for the folks watching the program today who don't know, As I said, it's a prestigious award, but it is given for, quite frankly, many years of dedication to parks and recreation.
Well, yeah, John, and it's an award that's given annually at the annual convention that we have through the Delaware Recreation and Park Society. And I'm very honored and humbled to have received the award, but as I shared at the luncheon, that this award isn't really about me.
Yeah.
What I've said is that I believe that this award is about we, the City of Wilmington, the Department of Parks and Recreation, and all the people who do the things that they do to make a difference in this city. But I was humbled and honored to have received this award.
All right, well, you deserve it. You've given many, many years to not just the programs in parks and recreation, and we're going to talk about that in a minute, but to the thousands of children and families that have taken advantage of the parks and recreation programs in the city. As a matter of fact, you know, we like to remind our viewers every once in a while that we're a direct service government. In other words, that means that we provide things like police and fire protection. We pick up your trash. We take care of the sewer systems here in the city, and that's called direct service. And about the closest we get here in Wilmington to social services, if you will, dealing with the well-being of individuals, is when we get into either health matters or, in your department, parks and recreation. And for instance, Romaine, let's talk a little bit about some of the things that go on in parks, because it's good now that you got the award. And it's very nice of you to say it's as a result of the whole team, and I know it is. But let's talk a little bit about some of the things you do in parks and recreation, like summer youth program and those college tours, which are so important for young people.
Yeah, well, we feel very fortunate about the programs that we have an opportunity to provide. And as you mentioned, the college visitation program is one of the biggest programs that we do, and that gives young people an opportunity to go visit different colleges and get the exposure. I mean, one of the things that we feel that's important, that if young people get that exposure, then they may achieve to or strive to achieve to attend college. And our summer employment program, as you mentioned, is very popular. We'll be doing that this summer. We currently, right now, we are scheduled to at least offer at least 150 to 200 jobs on the city general fund, and then hopefully we'll receive state money and be able to increase that number.
All right. Now, there's many of you in the city are familiar with the Hicks Anderson Center over on Madison Street, and that's just yet one of the facilities that your department uses throughout the city of Wilmington to bring these programs to children and families.
Well, as you mentioned, the Hicks Anderson is the only owned city recreation or community center that we have in the city of Wilmington, but we work with a whole host of other agencies throughout the city to provide programs, as you mentioned, tutoring programs, mentoring programs, just a whole host of sport programs, just from again, educational to social, cultural kinds of things, just trying to, again, expose young people to as many positive things as possible.
And you move to another area in his department, which is open space. Romaine and his staff have a very important assignment here in the city of Wilmington, which is to preserve open space, and that's really important in any kind of urban area. We want to make, and we're talking about our park system, we want to make sure that we preserve these lands, take care of them properly. You've got a great staff out there that does a wonderful job.
Well, our maintenance staff does a fantastic job in maintaining the open space. But quite frankly, over the years, John, we've been able to work with neighborhood associations, the neighborhood planning council, and friends of parks have popped up throughout the city, and I can't tell you how much that has really helped us in our ability to be able to maintain these parks, because as you mentioned, the parks are there for everybody, and quite frankly, we need everybody to help out whenever they can. And so again, we appreciate all the things that the neighborhood associations and civic groups are doing in our parks to help make them beautiful.
All right, so the telephone number at the Parks Department is, if I remember correctly, 576-3810?
You got it.
All right, it's right on your screen right now, 576-3810, and you can always go, it's also on the screen, to our city website and click on Parks and Recreation and see the entire array of programs that Romaine and his team have put together for all of you in the city of Wilmington. Congratulations once again, Romaine,
thank you,
on that
John.
award, and our thanks to all of your people throughout all the divisions within Parks and Recreation Department. And thanks for being with us here on Wilmington in the Middle of It All. And welcome back to Wilmington in the Middle of It All. Always good to have you with us on this program. We're moving into some nice weather. It's getting warmer. It's one of your favorite times of the year,
Certainly
I'm sure.
is. I love this time of the year,
Outdoor
John.
activities.
Jazz festival coming. We've started a new Fringe Unhinged, and
Right.
Art Loop is booming. It's great. It's
Okay.
wonderful.
Well, good. And we'll be with folks every step of the way.
Yep.
And what?
One thing has been noticeably absent from this show in recent episodes, and it's one of our
Really?
dearest, most treasured segments has been missing.
Wait a minute, our most treasured segment.
Yeah.
There's only one I can think of.
Only one I can think of.
Tina time.
First and Central Presbyterian Church in downtown Wilmington, right at the corner of 11th and Market Street, is a church without walls that welcomes without limits. It also has a wonderful music program that it's been doing since the 1970s. The current artistic director of Market Street Music is my friend David Chalat. Hi, David, and welcome to Wilmington in the Middle of It All.
Thanks very much, Tina. It's great to be here.
Now, David, not only are you artistic director of First and Central Presbyterian's Market Street Music Program, but you're also an organist, you're a choral conductor, you're a composer. I've had the pleasure of singing some of your choral works before. And you also graduated cum laude from Ohio State University, so that also means you're pretty brilliant. Now, you're a friend of mine, but I didn't know all of this about you. I knew that you were a choral director. So you are the artistic director of Market Street Music here at First and Central Presbyterian. But before we talk about that particular program, let's talk about the other things that you do. For example, your relationship with the Wilmington Children's Chorus.
Oh, that's a great organization that has its rehearsal home here at First and Central, and we love having them invade our church on Wednesday evenings. It really kind of takes the whole place, and lots and lots of children learning about music and being enriched. We love it. We love having them here.
Well, I know that this is also the sanctuary where we're sitting today. It's also the place where the Wilmington Children's Chorus has performed many, many concerts.
Right.
The last time I was here with them was during Christmas with their holiday concert, and it fills the place.
Yes, they're very popular. They've got lots and lots of fans in Wilmington, and this is a great space to listen to music in. It's a wonderful acoustic. Perhaps you can hear that on this video. I'm not sure, but it's lovely, especially for singing. It's just gorgeous.
It is absolutely gorgeous. And in addition to the music that the Wilmington Children's Chorus makes here, the musical programming that you bring through Market Street Music also fills the sanctuary with music lots and lots of times. So now, one of my favorite programs with your Market Street Music project is the Noontime Thursday concerts.
Right. Thursday noontime concerts were started by my predecessor, Lee Detra, in the 70s, and have continued that whole time without stoppage the whole time. And now we have about 21 free concerts for people who work and live and visit downtown Wilmington every Thursday from 12:30 until 1. We have a series in the fall that goes from October through December, and then one in the spring that just started in March. We're in March now. Goes from March through the middle of May.
Well, fantastic. And what type of music is presented during those noontime concerts? And it fits perfectly with lunchtime.
Right.
Because as you said, it's from 12:30 until 1.
Exactly.
So people can have a lunch from 1 until about 12:30 or so, and then stop on by right here at 11th and Market Street. And what type of music can people hear?
Well, at Thursday noontime concerts, you can find just about any kind of music you can imagine. We have choral music from the Center City Chorale, which is a great choir of people who work in downtown Wilmington. There's chamber music, you can hear jazz, you can hear world music, folk music, just any kind of music. We have quite a wide variety of things that we offer in that series.
And it's perfect. The half-hour time, it's a wonderful way to spend most of your lunch hour coming here
Well, we
to
think
the
so.
sanctuary. It's absolutely wonderful. And as you mentioned, it is free. There is a suggested donation, but it's not mandatory.
Right.
So if you're a little, if your paycheck has already gone for that week, you don't have to worry about it. You can still come and enjoy the program.
Come on over. And even if you do follow the suggested donation, it's only $3. So
There you go.
can you find any entertainment anywhere that's $3?
Not that I know about. Not that I know about. Now, in addition to your noontime concerts, you also do other concerts as part of the Market Street Music Program. And what are they?
Right, that's a series called Festival Concerts, and that happens in the evenings. This spring, they're on Saturday evenings and Tuesday evenings. We're kind of experimenting with the Tuesday evening series, which will be
Good.
kind of interesting to see how that goes. But those, the admission price is nominal for that. You can purchase tickets online for $15 for a fantastic concert of music.
Fantastic. And we will have the website for your music program on the screen so that people can go on your website to purchase tickets and also find out what's coming up.
Yeah, on the website you can find out all kinds of information about Market Street Music. You can find out about all the upcoming concerts. You can read about Center City Chorale and also our ensemble called Master Singers of Wilmington, which performs in festival concerts.
Now, the Center City Chorale, these are volunteers that you mentioned. They come in from businesses.
Yes.
And people can come in and just sing. Do they have to audition to be a part of that?
That choir has no audition. You just come over and sing. You just need a commitment to come to rehearsal.
So
And
you just have to love to sing.
that's all you need.
Now, when are rehearsals for that?
Rehearsals for Center City Chorale are Tuesdays from 12 until 1 o'clock.
Okay.
So just an hour out of your week. People love coming over just to sing. It's a great break in the middle of the workday.
That's fantastic. And the Master Singers, now these are professional singers that perform with the Master Singers, right?
This is a combination of professional singers and really highly skilled amateur singers, people who love singing. And they rehearse on Thursday evenings and the week of the concert many times.
Right.
And that's an audition group and highly skilled singers.
Fantastic. Now, in addition to that, I know some of the concerts, you're a fantastic, very talented organist.
Well, thanks,
and
Tina.
There are times when you do an organ concert. Is that right?
Occasionally, yes. I did a program this fall called The Naked Organ, which was lots of fun.
Oh my.
Oh my.
The naked organ. And we missed that.
You missed it. We took out
Okay.
all the panels of the organ so you could see inside of
Oh,
it and
wow.
turned on the interior lights. And I played some music and talked about how the organ functions and all the different parts of it. And people in the audience came up and tooted on pipes, and we had a great
Tooted
time.
on pipes?
That's right.
How do you toot on an organ pipe?
Just blow in the bottom and the sound comes out.
I've never done that before.
Well,
It sounds like the next
time we do a naked organist,
The
you're
next time you undress your organ, please call me.
I will
because
do so.
I definitely want to be a part of tooting the organ. And you have a great organ here, and you promised that at the end of our little conversation here that you're going to play a little something for us on the organ.
I
Is
would
that
be
right?
happy to do that.
That
yes.
would be wonderful. That we would. Now, so we have the Master Singers, the Center City Chorale, your noontime concerts, and what else?
And festival concerts.
And the festival concerts. Now, why is this program important to the City of Wilmington?
Well, it's very important because it adds a huge amount of artistic enrichment to people's lives who live here in Wilmington and visit and shop and work in Wilmington. It's, I think, a really hallmark music program, artistic program in Wilmington that's been going on for years and years and years.
Well, certainly since the 1970s, which means that it has to be a very valuable part of what we do here in Wilmington as part of the art scene. And it's unique. I mean, I don't think any other church in the city of Wilmington does what you're doing through your music program.
No, this is unique in Wilmington. If you look around the country, there are a number of churches that have kind of noontime programs. Ours is a little bit more diverse than most of those programs. Those are a little churchy, or we
Right.
try not to be churchy.
Right.
And And so it's been going on for a long time. It gets huge support from the community with donations and corporations in downtown Wilmington, the Delaware Division of the Arts. We have lots of supporters of these programs.
And you have a wonderful leadership here at the church. At the top is Pastor Gertz, who's extremely supportive of what you do here at First and Central Presbyterian.
He is. He's a great supporter, and he's a wonderful guy. I think everyone really enjoys Doug. He's a brilliant man and thinks very deeply about things. It's a pleasure to work with him.
Well, thank you for what you bring to the arts in downtown Wilmington. Thank you for being the church without walls that welcomes without limits. And thank you for all of the music that you bring. And you're going to give us some music to close out our segment here.
Just a little bit.
Do you know what you're going to play?
I'm going to play some Bach for you, I think. Everyone likes Bach.
Everybody likes Bach. So, David Shalat, Artistic Director of the First and Central Presbyterian's Market Street Music Program, and also incredible organist. And he's going to play us out. Thank you so much, David. You know, I've been in First and Central many, many times, but it wasn't until I spoke with David Shalat and watched him close up playing his Bach piece during the interview that I noticed that the keys, the white keys, are black and the black keys are white on the organ at First and Central.
Really?
And it's very much like a harpsichord. Oh. So the next time you go to First and Central Presbyterian for the Market Street Music Program or for one of the Wilmington Children's Chorus concerts, welcome and take a look at the organ. It's very interesting.
I never knew that.
Very interesting. And, you know, speaking of church interiors, we had an opportunity also this month to take a close-up look at another church interior.
Right, St. Hedwig's Church. St. Hedwig's has been around for well over 100 years. The cornerstone was laid in 1904. And have either of you been in this church?
I haven't been in years.
Yes, I've sung there for wedding.
Very nice. Well, we're going to get a real up-close look today on the history of the parish, see some interior shots, and learn all about Wilmington's Polish community. Today's Where in Wilmington finds us in the city's lower west side, specifically the Hedgeville and Browntown neighborhoods. This area represents the historic center of Wilmington's Polish community. And today we're going to learn about the crown jewel that serves as the heart and soul of this proud community. Of course, I'm talking about St. Hedwig Catholic Church. Wilmington's largest wave of Polish immigrants arrived in the latter part of the 19th century, around 1883. Most of these Poles came from the Polish province of Poznań, at the time a Prussian partition of Poland and as such part of the German Empire. Coupled with the strong Roman Catholic traditions of their motherland, Wilmington's early Polish immigrants were naturally attracted to the Sacred Heart Parish at 10th and Madison, a Catholic church that was run by German Benedictines. As the number of Poles continued to grow, the Benedictines recognized the need to build a new church that served the Polish community in their native tongue. In 1890, the Benedictines dedicated the first St. Hedwig Church, which was located directly across the street from the current church. The church was placed under the patronage of St. Hedwig, the 13th century Duchess of Poland. In her lifetime, St. Hedwig was known for her charity towards the poor. She also donated all of her fortune to the church. Her dedication to her faith is why she is often depicted carrying a church in her hand. St. Hedwig is also sometimes depicted carrying her shoes. According to legend, St. Hedwig was a very pious and modest person, even going barefoot in the winter. When urged by the bishop to wear shoes, she carried them in her hands, a symbol of her humility and modesty. The early years of the fledgling parish were fraught with challenges. The first pastor, Father Richard Alst, left the parish shortly after the new church was built. The second pastor, Father Leo Szczepański, died unexpectedly after serving only 4 years. For the next year, St. Hedwig would be without a pastor. St. Hedwig shook off its humble and tentative beginnings when the orphaned parish was rescued by the Reverend John S. Gulch, a charismatic figure with a heart of gold who would lead St. Hedwig for an impressive 65 years. He was bestowed with the title Monsignor in 1950. Father Gulch accomplished many impressive tasks over his long career, including the 1898 founding of the Polish Library, a settlement house where new immigrants could learn the knowledge and skills needed to thrive in their new country. Father Gulch also strengthened the parish school, replacing the Benedictines with the Felician Sisters. Thousands of Wilmingtonians would receive a quality education under the foundations established by Father Gulch. But Father Gulch's most significant and lasting achievement came with the construction of a new church to make room for the ever-swelling wave of Polish immigrants. Located at the southeast corner of Linden and Harrison Streets, the new church's cornerstone was laid on July 3, 1904, with the dedication of the completed structure taking place on April 2, 1905. St. Hedwig Church is a classic example of late Gothic Revival architecture. The exterior is of gray brick with details in limestone and decorative tan and gray brick corbelling. The church's distinctive twin towers dominate the skyline of Wilmington's west side as they reach to a towering height of 135 feet. St. Hedwig is the only church in the state of Delaware with twin towers. St. Hedwig is also unique in that in its southernmost tower, you'll find 4 massive bells, each named after a saint according to church custom. 3 of the 4 bells are original. The first St. Hedwig bell cracked on Easter Sunday of 1986, and a new one was recast by the original foundry, Baltimore's McShane Bell Foundry, which was itself founded in 1856, and the bell was cast using the exact same mold as the original. As distinctive as St. Hedwig's Church is, did you know that there are nearly exact replicas in other parts of the country? When considering architects to build the new church, Father Gulch turned to Braillemeyer & Sons of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Mr. Braillemeyer was once a classmate of Father Gulch's, and Father Gulch greatly admired a church the architect built in Brooklyn, New York. St. Stanislaus Kostka in Brooklyn's Greenpoint neighborhood has noticeable similarities to St. Hedwig. An even more exact copy can be found in another church dedicated to St. Stanislaus Kostka in Adams, Massachusetts. Upon entering St. Hedwig, the first thing most visitors notice is the beautiful vaulted ceiling, which is supported by massive columns that divide the nave of the church. The nave is 138 feet long and 60 feet wide, while at the transept that width expands to 70 feet. And though you can't see it from the floor, the framework and structural support of the vaulting is purely of wooden beams in the Old World style. At the back of the nave, just above the front entrance, you'll find the choir loft, which is home to the original 1927 pipe organ, a portion of which was funded with a donation from steel magnate Andrew Carnegie. In 1989, the original pipes were lowered so that the beautiful rose window, which features a representation of St. Hedwig in the center, could be viewed from inside the church. While the church was originally built to accommodate 1,000 people, subsequent renovations have reduced the occupancy number to 800. The original interior included wooden altars and an elaborate Gothic pulpit that soared over the communion rail and above the first few pews. The interior of St. Hedwig underwent its first restoration in 1939 in observance of the church's Golden Jubilee. The wooden altars were replaced with 3 new ones made in Italy from Carrara marble and shipped to America by boat during World War II. Adorned with spires, the high altar is 28 feet high and 15 feet wide and includes 2 niches, the one on the left with a statue of St. Hedwig, and the one on the right with a statue of St. Stanislaus Kostka, another popular Polish saint. 6 mosaics along the top of the high altar depict symbols of Christ's crucifixion. The altar to the right of the high altar honors the Sacred Heart of Jesus, the Catholic Church's devotion to the physical heart of Jesus Christ as a representation of his divine love for humanity. The altar to the left is known as the Blessed Virgin Mary altar, in tribute to Jesus' mother. Altars honoring the Blessed Virgin Mary are traditionally located on the left side of the church, and that's because women used to be required to sit on the left side of the church. Men and women sat separately in the old days. Now, that tradition is no longer observed en masse, of course, but remnants of that tradition still exist during a traditional wedding, when the bride's family is asked to sit on the left side of the church and the groom's family sits on the right. Religious art is common to traditional Catholic churches, and St. Hedwig is no exception. The imagery you'll see throughout the church is designed to help illustrate in tangible form the teachings of Catholicism and to serve as a way to respect and honor the memory of the people and events the images depict. For instance, the ceiling above the transept features the 4 evangelists, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, the authors of the Gospels of the Bible's New Testament. Along the perimeter of the church are the Stations of the Cross. These plaster relief panels offer meditation on 14 events that took place during the Passion of Christ. These stations are original to the church, although they have been painted several times since their installation. Originally painted in vibrant colors, the statues were painted white with gold accents during the church's second major restoration, which began in 1959. During interior renovations in 1994, the statues were returned to their original, brightly colored splendor. The church's 1959 to 1960 restoration also resulted in the replacement of the church's wood and tile floor with terrazzo. The original dark-colored walnut pews were also removed and replaced with light-colored oak pews. A plaque in the church's vestibule lists donors to the new pew fund. Most of the church's stained glass windows are original, with one notable exception, the window on the left side of the church next to the Blessed Virgin Mary altar. This window, depicting the baptism of Christ, was replaced with a new one depicting the same theme in commemoration of the 70th priesthood anniversary of the beloved Monsignor Gulch. Shortly after the window was dedicated, Father Gulch died in 1962 at the age of 95. Fittingly, he was buried in the churchyard in front of the rectory. When Father Gulch first came to Wilmington, there were little more than 200 families of Polish descent living in the city. During his long years of outstanding service, the parish would grow to nearly 2,000 families. Much has changed in Browntown and Hedgeville over the past half-century. Urban renewal, the construction of I-95, and the subsequent white flight to the suburbs has resulted in the loss of much of Wilmington's resident Polish community. Gone are the Polish grocers and bakers, gone are the factory workers and the businesses they helped flourish, and gone are the great Polish cultural institutions that once called this corner of the city home. St. Hedwig's High School and Senior Center are also gone. So are the Felician Sisters. The convent and elementary school are still standing, but they are leased by the parish to other educational entities. Yet St. Hedwig Church continues to thrive. More than 600 families remain part of the St. Hedwig family. Every Sunday, the 11:30 a.m. Mass is still in the Polish language. Make no mistake, the spirit of this Polish community is still strong and vibrant, and is evidenced by the popularity of St. Hedwig's annual Polish festival along the riverfront. Thousands of people attend this week-long festival every year to get their fill of such Polish delicacies as pierogi, gołąbki, kielbasa, and kapusta, and they enjoy the polka-filled atmosphere. I hope you enjoyed this brief celebration of St. Hedwig Catholic Church, and I certainly hope to see you at next year's Polish Festival. The Polish expression 100 lat is spoken when you want to wish somebody a long life, literally 100 years. So 100 lat, St. Hedwig, and 100 lat to all of you. I'll see you next time for Where in Wilmington. I'm Rich Neumann. And there you have it, St. Hedwig Roman Catholic Church, very near and dear to my heart, and I really love the Polish Festival. In fact, John and I go every year and enjoy the music and the food.
Yeah, it's very nice, and you know, just one of those nice ethnic experiences. And so, congratulations on that piece.
That's
Rich.
wonderful. Yeah, very interesting.
Very, very, very nice. Hey, you know, we lost someone in this community recently. Every once in a while, you meet someone in your lifetime and you think, wow, what an individual, and what has that individual meant for all of us, and that's the Reverend Maurice Moyer. Reverend Maurice Moyer. And he passed away recently. And so we mourn his passing, but we celebrate his life. And our mayor, Mayor Jim Baker, had some thoughts about the passing of Reverend Maurice Moyer.
Reverend Moyer was such a brilliant man and such a kind man, and very, very easy to understand and get along with. Of course, his son worked for the city, great guy, and it was a great family. So I think when you look at his contributions, the main thing that I have always tried to do is respect those who came before me, because I wouldn't have been mayor, or no other African American would have been mayor, without these strong giants and great people like Maurice Moyer, Reverend Moyer, because they had to pave the way. They had to sacrifice. They had to figure out how to make the changes work. We always hear of Martin Luther King, but we never hear about these local people who do so much and has done, like the Lynn Mitchells, like Reverend Moyer, like Reverend Morgan, like Roy Wagstaff, like Roosevelt Franklin, and others that really came through the firing line to make things better for the rest of us. And every city in the country had the Reverend Moyers. Every city that had African Americans, every community that needed change, there were people who did that.
We welcome you back to Wilmington, in the middle of it all, and a very important topic in this segment of the program, which is fire safety. How safe is your home? How safe is your home in the sense of protecting your children and your property? Very important questions. You know, we need to ask ourselves over and over and over again. And to help us with all of this, it's our pleasure to welcome the Fire Marshal for the City of Wilmington, Chief William Kim. And also joining us is Inspector Beverly Wiltshire.
Good morning, John.
Inspector, good to have you with us. Hey, let's start this way.
Okay.
Let's show a picture up on the screen here of a young man. This young man is Nakai Carney.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm going to tell a quick little story about Nakai Carney.
Okay.
On January 16th, 2012, Nakai and he has 3 other siblings in the home, were sleeping in their home on West 28th Street when Nakai smelled smoke. And Mom had apparently left a pan on the oven or something like that. And Nakai was smart enough to get his siblings and his mom out of that house, save their lives, And let's bring it back now to us for just a moment. And in fact, in just a second, I want to show another picture of Nakai because it's a great picture with Chief Willie Patrick. Because I know you all went to Nakai's school, which is the College Preparatory.
Delaware College Preparatory.
Delaware College
Academy.
Preparatory. That's the old Christ Our King school for those in the city of Wilmington who may know the area over in off West 28th. 28th. But anyway, the point here is this young man, he did exactly what you preach all throughout the year to families and children.
Yes, yes. And we thought this was such an important job that he did, that he actually saved his family. The house was actually on fire. From our understanding is that his mother had come in and she had fallen asleep while she was attempting to cook something. And Nakai had smelled the smoke. That's how he woke up. He smelled the smoke, and he was able to wake up the rest of his family and got
him out of the house.
But what was important was there was no smoke detectors in the house.
Okay.
And so
that's a no-no.
That is a no-no, but thank goodness that for the quick response of the Wilmington Fire Department, the kitchen was the only area that was affected. So the kitchen actually caught on fire, but no life was lost, which is major.
All right, now take a look at this picture. This is another picture of Nakai Carney with our fire chief, Willie Patrick. And this is when you all went to the school and actually in front of all of his classmates said, Nakai, you did a good thing, and congratulations to you. And I know his family is so thrilled that he took this action to save their lives. Now, Chief McKim, let me ask you this. We just said it was a no-no, but that's what your office is all about, and what Inspector Beverly Wiltshire does throughout the year is to try to teach families, look, folks, there's a way to kind of protect yourself.
Absolutely. The public fire prevention efforts put on by our office actually, in someone's terms, fight more fires than actually going out and fighting fire. The education of the public is our ultimate goal, and obviously starting with the younger children, that's why we have Little Heroes programs, and we have plenty of fire prevention efforts that are aimed at the children, so that when they become adults, they'll have good fire prevention and life safety habits, just like little Nakai exhibited.
As we move through now in the next few months or so, I understand that folks throughout the city of Wilmington will see you, Inspector Wiltshire, and others from the fire department in their neighborhoods for a particular reason.
Yes, the particular reason is we are going door to door to exhibit our proactive stance on fire prevention by handing out materials and ensuring that the residents have smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors, so that they have a better chance of surviving an incident like that.
All right. Now, some folks say not to talk about this stuff, but I'm going to mention a statistic. We've been very fortunate here in Wilmington over the last 3 years or so not to have a fire fatality. And I've got to think that in large part is because of what Chief McKim, Inspector Beverly Wiltshire, and the men and women throughout the fire department do throughout the year to remind us of how we can protect ourselves.
Yes, John, that is correct. But what I'd really like to do is give that credit to the citizens, that they're being more conscious, they're being more aware. We have calls every day about when do I need to change my smoke alarm, and how often should I test it, which is an indication that they are watching the news. You see what happens in our surrounding areas all the time.
Right.
You know, there's fires every day up in Philadelphia. Every day they're taking a beating up there, but I'd like to think that it is our citizens that are taking a more of a proactive role in their own fire safety.
All right, well, this is good, and I know you all will continue to be out there with us and to help us through this. It's just something that we have to remind ourselves, stop for a moment, think. You know, we get so caught up in our daily lives, and we don't think about things like smoke detectors, or the batteries, have they been changed, and so on.
Correct.
So look, it's the fire marshal's office here in the city of Wilmington. They do an excellent job, and Inspector Beverly Wiltshire, she's out there with the young people throughout the city throughout the year. We congratulate you. We congratulate Nakai Carney and all the other young people who know about fire safety and how to protect their families and their own property. Okay, thanks for being with us here
Thank
on
you.
Wilmington in the
Thank you
middle
for
of it
having
all.
Thanks for having us.
All right, thanks.
All right.
You know, it's always good when we get comments from you about these programs or story ideas, and then when you greet us on the street.
Yeah, it's great.
I think that's the biggest kick we get when we see folks out on the streets of Wilmington.
Well, you know, it's really funny because when the three of us are together, we almost always get comments from somebody walking on the street.
Right.
Yeah, it's great. Thank you very, very much for
Yeah.
watching the show.
We appreciate
And there's
that.
safety in numbers.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, there are.
I don't know
Earlier
what that
today, we
means.
talked about our colleague here.
winning, which this one
This
or
one.
the other one?
No, this one.
Winning an illegitimate award?
No, he won an award.
Oh,
Right.
And,
Yes.
and go ahead.
He's
tell
gonna
us.
tell us more
Just
about
an award. It was a chili cook-off.
Yeah.
I live in Midtown Brandywine, and we had a competition known as the Midtown Brandywine Chili Cheeks Cook-Off. And out of 20-some competitors, my Texas Bowl of Red was chosen as the winner. And I got
Yay,
this beautiful
applause. Applause,
classic
everybody. Yes, standing O. Standing
Well, that's
O.
very nice.
Yeah,
very
that's
nice.
something.
That's
And
great.
as a treat, I actually brought a sample of my chili in for you guys to taste, so you can tell me what you think.
Oh, cool.
Are you game?
So this is the award-winning
This is
chili.
the award.
This is the award-winning chili.
This is the
Okay.
one that.
All right, Christina.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see.
So here we go.
Let me see.
How do you like the chili? This has been a production of Wilmington in the Middle of It All. I'll be seeing you next time.